I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Pramod Deshpande. I am Senior Associate Professor in National Institute of Construction Management and Research. I am working in the field of risk management as a trainer, faculty, and researcher. Today, all of us are participating in this international online conference to discuss the strategies to restart and revamp the construction industry and its activities under post-COVID situation. Friends, I propose the risk assessment and risk management approach to deal with the post-COVID situation for the construction. Now, let us define what is the risk. The risk is simply defined as an uncertainty. If we identify the risk in business, the business activities, the success of business is assured. The uncertainties occur under certain situation. In fact, any activity which is having any activity which is taking place always have a uncertainty attached with it. This uncertainty occurs under specific situation. Now, if we try to consider the project as a construction as a project activity where the time and cost are the factors or performance parameters which are being used to define the success and failure of the project. In today's situation, the projects are not able to perform to the standard because of the COVID situation. But under such situation, what risk exists if we try to find out the risk associated to carry out the construction activity, it will help to overcome the situation. To do this, let us understand what is risk. Now, risk is uncertainty. Uncertainty is attached with the activity, and this uncertainty is inherent. How? Whenever we do any activity, there are always results of that activity are either success, that is yes, or failure, that is no. Now, whenever we try to plan or design the activity, we try to see that this activity will lead to success. However, there is always a situation under which this activity is likely to fail. And that is what is the exactly the significance of risk. We will discuss this in the due course of time, under certain due course of time. This risk, if we see the construction project has a design activity or a design, planning, scheduling, estimation, budgeting. This is further supported with safety management system and quality management system. Now, in simple words, project as a whole can be considered as a set of activities. If we go into little microscopic way, the planning can be considered as a set of activities. Now, if this set of activities has been addressed, these activities being having a rate of success and which is indicated as chances of success in terms of probability such as 90%, 95%, so on, so forth. Now, when you look at this probability of success as a positive part, there is a negative part attached with it, and that is nothing but the 5 to 10% chances of failure. Now, if we want to make the project as a success as a whole, there is a need to address the planning in terms of positive aspect as well as to address the likely situations which will lead to failure. In simple words, what it means is that if you take care of likely failure, there is a proficiency of the project will be much better. And that is what the concept of risk management. If we say that this risk to be handled, we will have to address this risk by specific by a scientific method, and that scientific method consists of identification of risk, which is by process. It is to be done with some context of a situation, which is followed by risk quantification. And to do the risk quantification, there are different methods, there are different terminologies, like risk calculating the risk exposure, calculating the risk priority number. And once you have calculated and identified the risk, then there comes the risk analysis. That means prioritizing the risk. And once we do the prioritizing the risk, then it becomes obvious to find out the mitigating solution. Now, these kind of things can be explained in a simple way with an example, like there is a vendor and the project team is losing the vendor because he is not getting the payment in time. And one, if you want to say that I will make the payment in time, that is a conventional approach. People will say that why the payment is getting delayed. That becomes a situation, and there is a need to analyze the business process of preparing the purchase order till the payment of the bill. And in that process, what are the factors which are contributing to failure that needs to be listed? Once that has been listed, there are two solutions. Once you can modify the process and take rid of modify the process and address the update the system. There could be a situation in which you can identify those factors and take the corrective action. Similarly, if there are more than one factors, there is a need to see that which factors should be addressed first. In order to do this, one has to do the quantification by finding out its impact in terms of its risk exposure, and then addressing the thing. Now, let us go further and try to understand that in this manner the risk exists in a project. And if we want to address the success of the project, if we address these risk related issues, the other things which we have planned, they are bound to give the success. And if we take care of these failure factors, then the success is assured. Similarly, if you go with a COVID kind of situation where the market response, the funding flow, the human behavior, the work environment, all these factors are becoming a risk. But out of these factors, which factors will lead to failure, that needs to be addressed. If we try to address that factor, there could be a chance that in the process of identification itself, you will be able to eliminate those factors and come out of the situation. If still those factors exist, we can see that how it can be quantified and prioritized. Similarly, we can take a mitigating solution. And I think with this kind of details, this kind of methodology, a construction environment can be revamped for the post-COVID situation. Let us take another example. There is a government resolution saying that the force majeure clause will be considered as an extended time for extended time. What it means? It means that whatever the risk associated with the force majeure clause will not be get applicated for a certain period which is equivalent to a lockdown period. Now, these are the kind of policy decisions which has been made to overcome the risk of project deliverables. Now, this is what I am trying to explain, that risk management is an approach which will lead to a, what is called as handling the post-COVID situation for construction. Thank you.